Hello everyone and welcome back to Assetto corsa competizione. And today I decided to go back to special events. I made one video on it before, but I decided I wanted to play this game again since my Xbox Live ran out, so I just decided to hop right in, and you can actually do these challenges without having to pay for online, so that's kind of cool. So I decided to do the challenge with the Jaguar at what I believe is Herbergring. I've completely butchered that name, but I really don't know how to say it, but it's just a basic time attack. You put yourself on the leaderboard with a few other people. I'm on controller, so hopefully I can get some good results from this. Say maybe top 5,000 would be very good for me, since I haven't played in a while, but we'll just check that out when we get into it. I don't really know much about tuning GT3 cars, so I decided to just load up the aggressive preset. And this is going to be my first lap where I'm just figuring out the car and getting back into it, learning where my shifting buttons were, well, where they are. Now if you look in the left hand corner at the bottom, you see I've already attempted this a few times before recording this. Well, you're just going to see some of the best laps I got, since I figured no one would want to watch me go around this track like 30-40 times. So here as we come into turn 1, it's a really hard braking point just to get it right and not end up going too deep. Here we actually used second gear for a bit too long, but we did go back down to first gear, and you can see my Ghost took it pretty well compared to what I'm doing right now. Now as we head into corner 2, this is a really hard corner for me, just because I feel like I want to let the car roll in, but then again, I roll it in too much and I accidentally cut this corner just trying to hold the car back from spinning out. But apparently you can do that and get away with it sometimes. So now into corner 3, just use second gear to its best advantage. Sometimes you can use third. And then here is like corner 2, but you can use a little bit more power, and on the exit you can use as much as you want. Now coming into this corner, you want to brake as hard as you can and just turn in. You can get away with going down to first gear, but the exit makes it easier if you just use second. You want to lightly brake, just get the car on the inside. Sometimes you can brake there, sometimes it's just better to let off. I got really lucky here because the game allowed me to run very wide through there. Now sometimes through here, depending on how fast you're going, you want to use second gear, but I just stick it in third. And now we come down to the big, little hill section, I like to call it. Just turn in, it's not that hard. The only hard part is just trying to get as much speed as you possibly can without rotating the car too much, or doing what I do and just super send it wide. And after that corner, it's just one more tight hairpin and back onto the front stretch, where you usually want to get as much momentum as you can during this exit, which I kind of do, kind of don't. It feels weird. I haven't really driven this car before, so hopefully I can do something better. But if you look in the left hand corner, you see I actually cracked the top 1000, which is very nice. And this time around we actually take corner 1 pretty decently, using first gear as much as we can, just leaning the car as much as we can to the right side, and then hard on the brakes right before the little apex. And then we actually go a little bit too fast in this corner. I think you want to go about 55 and lower, but then we actually take that corner pretty good. I'm not sure what it's called, but I like it. It's a fast-paced corner. You can pretty much hold it flat in the newer cars, but not this one. As we ride another curve in, I decided to stay in third gear just to get the extra little push I needed. And here you can usually go about 60 to 70 miles per hour without spinning the car. And then again, hard on the brakes down into first gear this time, just using it as much as we can, avoid the second apex just to keep it more stable. Light on the brakes, just turning in the car, using the gas too. Little bit of braking just to get the car rotated, staying within the track limits while doing it. And then this corner is pretty easy, it's a flat out, but going into here, you want to usually brake a little bit more and use second gear. When I did mess up that corner a lot, so now it's back down to the little hill section here. Now at this little hill section, the braking point, it's pretty easy to remember. Just use second gear and get as much power down as you can. Now you usually want to brake either before that little banner that's in front of you or after it, and then just keep the car rotated. Once you're halfway around, you can pretty much gun it into the last hairpin, just hard on the brakes, then let the car kind of roll into the corner, giving it gas occasionally. And then with that, we have maybe even be able to get how far? We are 755 in the world, I believe that is, or either in the Americas. Now we go into our third lap. I decided to just speed it up a little bit since I eventually did mess it up, but it was severely faster. As you can see, we're almost a second above where we were last lap. But then of course I completely bottled that at one point by just dipping 2 wheels too much over the track, which sadly did kill my time, and I did try to recreate it, but unfortunately I just couldn't get this perfect run basically. And as you can see, I also ran wide there, and here is when all 4 wheels went over the track, and there went my time. And as you can see, my ghost pretty much finished me off as we run again wide into this corner. Now back down to the little hill section, I like to call it. And as we're in this section, you can kind of watch my ghost before it disappears to see where you need to brake. And I believe by the time this video is up, this event should still be here. I think they only change them once a month as we run wide again into the first hairpin. And I decided to just try to track my ghost to see where they brake, and it actually works. So unfortunately, that's only 755 place in the world. Now before the video ends, I'd like to just say only 20% of you are subscribed. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. I have other Assetto Corsa videos and playlist and a few other games. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we'll